Good morning, good morning, good morning, good Tuesday morning to you. This is going to be a part 2 of the topic from yesterday, heart management. I know that yesterday I covered things at a higher level, and I realized that I said, "Ooh, that was too much. That was too much." I tend to think that people learn the way I learned. I like to call it eat the way I eat. And I know that's not true. So I'm listening to a message yesterday, and it was entitled "Damaged but Not Destroyed." And in this, I'm going to go in depth with that on a live video on Saturday here on TikTok. And she said something that resonated with what I was talking about yesterday. My camera acting crazy right now. So she says that the soil of your life is your heart, right? You remember I talked about the heart yesterday. The soil of your life is your heart. So we have got to make sure that our heart is in the best condition, because out of the heart flows the issues of your life, right? You want to know how somebody feels? Just listen to what they say. They speak what's on their heart, right? And we want to make sure that we are doing our work, getting that heart check, okay? Seeing if we have any stones, and what can we do about those stones that we find, right? I'm gonna get it together. Give me a second. There we go. All right. Okay. So, heart management. Then I got an email with information about the very topic I was talking about. I was like, okay. Part 2, let's go. So let me cover this. It's not going to be a high, it's going to be a low, it's going to be to a digestible. This is digestible information. At least I feel like it's digestible information. Okay, so whatever you allow in your heart, because it's going to come out of your mouth. Whatever you allow in your heart is going to come out of your mouth. If you don't guard your heart, whatever you allow in your heart will come out of your heart. If you don't guard your heart, whatever you allow in your heart will come out of your heart. The first symptom I need to deal with is my heart. That's the first symptom. The first symptom that we must deal with is our heart. First symptom of a sick heart is the abundance of what's in the heart, okay? Out of the mouth will tell what's in the heart. Out of the mouth will tell what's in the heart. Often we say things we don't mean to say or didn't mean to say it that way. It could be a symptom we often ignore. Not only what you say, but the frequency of saying it is another sign that there's something down in the heart that needs attention, okay? Could it be negativity, okay? Could it be a sign that someone has a heart that is discouraged, hopeless, despondent, and we should fix the heart because the mouth is the symptom. Mouth is a warning signal. The mouth is a warning signal that something is wrong down inside of the heart. There were 10 emotional needs, and when they aren't met, it impacts the heart. When the heart didn't get what it needed by the way of these emotional needs, that also can affect the heart issue some have within. Emotional needs are significant, essential as your physical needs. Okay, emotional needs are significant. It's as essential as your physical needs. As a child, your parents are responsible for your emotional needs. Likewise, they are responsible for your emotional needs. For your when it's not met, you will go into adulthood with these symptoms as a result of not having emotional needs met. Some of the emotional needs are, look at the first 12 years of your life. So the first 12 years of your life, these are the 10 essential needs, right? And a lot of us didn't get these needs. And ask if these needs were given to you. So here are the 10 emotional needs. Acceptance. Did you know you were accepted for who you are, not for what you did or compared to your siblings? God appoints mom and dad to pour into you acceptance. Okay. When the emotional needs are met, you enter the teenage years whole and accepted, not looking for that from others and from other places. All right. Affection, significant need, touched and held, calming need. If mom and dad are busy not providing this need, They will run in teenage years beyond the home to look for what is need. To look for this need. Okay, so if these needs are not met in the home, they look outside of the home to get these needs met. A child needs 8 to 10 hugs a day. Okay. Attention. The need for a parent to enter your world. Pay attention to who you are. Children will often get attention from negative way because attention is attention. Okay. When the 10 emotional needs are not met, it affects you on a heart level, okay? Not feeling loved, secure, accepted, affirmed of who you are. Consequently, it forms stones in your heart. When Dad left when I was a child, stones formed in my heart. I didn't want to see my dad because of the hurt. When you or parents haven't validated and affirmed you as a child, your parents haven't validated or affirmed you as a child, it will show up in adulthood, often thinking I'm having a bad day, not realizing that it can be a result of emotional need that wasn't met from childhood. There are symptoms that are specific from each parent and mother and father, and they didn't do those formative years. And you can look at the behavior patterns and ask probing questions that relate and connect back to those parenting moments. Lack of acceptance creates performance-oriented people, performing and trying to be good enough to be accepted, never being fulfilled, and still not measuring up because you never knew if you were accepted by your father. That was definitely me. Okay. I was working and grinding, and I admired the praise of people, not realizing the work and grind was coming from behind a wound, not a calling. Oftentimes those people keep working and grinding and not resting their souls. Workaholics, right? Gotta be doing something. Gotta have 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs because you feel like you're productive when you're doing that, right? Oftentimes we're overacting to others, not realizing that their actions are a result of our past, not a current activity, right? That's when we start projecting, especially when you are a leader. Leaders make decisions out of pain sometimes. Whatever area you're overreacting in, it will reveal the areas of pain that needs to be dealt with. Let me say that again. Whatever area you're overreacting in, it will reveal the area of pain that needs to be dealt with. We have to unpack those stones. Also, by the time we realize we didn't get what we need, we have children already. But I'm just now realizing there are a lot of these things that I didn't get, and I have kids. So therefore, I didn't give my kids these things because I was never given these things. I didn't even know about these things. When painful things happen as a child, a small area of the heart is open to mom and dad. When love was needed but not received, a small stone is formed in the heart. Stony hearts show up in being easily offended. We know people, and there's times that I used to be like easily offended. Stones in the heart will prevent people from allowing a good word to take root. In teenage years, you don't want to feel that feeling again of dad not being there. You start building a wall because of the small stones that start coming together and start pulling away from dad. During the teenage years are the years you are supposed to get wisdom from dad, yet you pull away from dad because of the early years when dad wasn't there, and you end up not getting the wisdom needed from dad. Each stone needs to be worked with. We must feel the pain to face it, the reality of it, so you can grieve and forgive. We must feel the pain, face the reality of it, so you can grieve and forgive. We have to grieve those things that we did not receive as kids, because now we're adults, and some of us have kids as well. So we have to make sure that we are giving our kids those emotional needs, those 10 essential emotional needs. That's acceptance, that's affection, that's attention. Maybe it's not 10, that's half of them. I didn't give you all 10, I gave you 3. But those are some of the emotional needs. If you want to look it up, you can Google it. It'll give you the 10 most essential emotional needs. And I just wanted to share this because it was still on my heart, and it's still I'm still seeing it. So I know I need to talk about it. If I see something more than one time, I hear something more than one time, I know I need to talk about it. So heart management, we have to do our heart work. Okay, because out of the heart flows the issues of our life. Okay, we got to make sure we're in good spirit so we can thrive. That's all I got. Thanks for listening.
Good morning.